let's go to like Tekken 8, right? Tekken 8, I'm like 100% like down for, right? Yeah, we're gonna see like new redesigns of like characters, right? We got like Kazuya looking like Dracula. This is Paul. This is Law, right? Damn, fucking. Yeah, this is like martial law, not forest law. But martial law hitting like the physique of fucking Bruce Lee. He definitely looks like Bruce Lee, right? He's got like the widow's peak, he's got like the facial like structures and everything. Like, damn, this boy really looks good. There's Jack 7. Yeah, Jack 7 looking more like clunky and robotic, right? He definitely looks good. There's our boy King. And we get to see like some interesting like stuff, right? At least like gameplay wise, amidst like all of this like story like cinematic like trailer, right? We get to see all of this like crazy stuff. Yeah, so you see like we have our boy Lars, right? Lars is going to be coming back with a new uniform and everything. It's not going to be like the Power Rangers uniform. It's going to be something regal and fancy like. But you see how like Lars is like glowing right here, right? He did like a forward 4, he did like a counter hit move, but you see him like glowing, right? Every like character has this like glow to them, right? And he canceled a forward 4, he canceled like a forward front kick into a command dash. Right, that's going to be like a gameplay mechanic like type of thing. And I think they say that in like in a recent like interview with IGN and Harada and Michael Murray-san. Right, you get to see like this this move again, right? You see like Jin glowing, and you see him doing like, oh hey, that's hard edge, right? Why is he doing Rock Howard stuff? What's he doing with Rock Howard? Right? And you see him like canceling like a running like move, like his like forward like palm thrust shit, into a fucking like command dash, right? So I think this is going to be like the new gameplay mechanic behind Tekken 8. It's going to be like all about like dash cancels and shit like that, right? You can like cancel certain like unsafe moves into like other crazier like stuff. So in this interview, the crew at IGN like basically interviews Katsuhiro Harada about the upcoming like Tekken 8 project, right? Talks about like story, right? Which is, you know, fine, right? As much as like I'll give like fighting game story modes they're not like the number one. They shouldn't be the number one thing, right? Right? They can be like good, but I'm not gonna make it like the number one like selling thing for like a fighting game. And this is like what Tekken 8 is like trying to do to settle the family like dispute, right? So all this yada yada stuff like that, right? Visceral like experience, right? And so I want to like talk about like gameplay, right? The key word to relate a concept for the battle system is aggressiveness, right? This is something we focused on in all various elements of gameplay. Fighting games are kind of interesting genre because it's you and another human opponent in most cases, right? Say if somehow you're able to block 100% of the attacks, then the match itself won't progress because nobody would do the damage. This is kind of like one of those like tipping points, and here is like the chagrin to like much of like the Tekken like community. Much of Tekken 8's design has been influenced by the esports scene and even Tekken 7's reception, right? And this is like all ties to like what Harada is going to be implementing in Tekken 8. Is the trailer introduces the new heat system, right? And that's like the glow up shit, the blue glow that you saw what Lars is doing, you saw what Jin is doing, right? They have this like icy like glow about them that they can do like crazy shit, meant to enhance and articulate aggressiveness, and that's how that's actually going to be implemented into the gameplay. And so it ties in Of course, Harada didn't share all too much detail about Tekken 8's gameplay philosophy. There are some like key like phrases and hints that like, you know, this is why the heat system is like the way it is. If you're looking at the esports scene where two people are at the same kind of like level, there might not be a lot of offense going on because it's hard for both players to open up their opponent and not a whole lot happens. And you can see this in boxing and other martial arts where as well, when two people are on the same skill level and there's not a lot of attacking going on. We wanted to make sure the game is entertaining to watch by motivating players to go on the offensive and try to open up their opponents. Not just because it makes the game more enjoyable for them, but a much more entertaining experience for spectators, right? And I see where Harada is coming from with this, right? I see where Harada is coming from with this because, you know, a lot of times, right, and this is like, I can relate to like my like personal time with like my friends and shit like that, right? Because, you know, a lot of like my friends are either Smash fans or 3D fans, right? Like Soul Calibur and Tekken 7, right? And every time I would like host like a live stream of a tournament, like let's say like Combo Breaker, or let's say like Evo, for instance. Let's put like a recent one, Evo 2022, right? We start like watching like Tekken 8, right? And Tekken 8 is a fantastic game, right, to play, but also like to watch because, you know, there's a lot of like Tekken like goodness that you can watch from it. A lot of people like Korean or Pakistani backdashing, and you're just like expecting who opens up like who, or who lands like the first like counter hit in this match, right? Tekken 7 is that one like fighting game where like crowds of people come in for that spectacle, and because Tekken 7 is that game where a lot of like hype moments come in for like the game, right? You see like that definite like slow-mo, you see like the one good opportunity after like a lot of like defensive movement plays go by in Tekken 7, right? Tekken is all about like, it's a lot of like mind games if you really like think about it. A lot of players like going back and forth here and there, right? Just gauging all of like their movement and sidesteps, right? And if you make like one small miscalculation in your movement, that's a counter hit. That's a sidestep punish, right? That's what builds up to like the climactic moments. And this is where I feel like Harada is basing off like the heat system. Why he made the heat system for Tekken 8 is that you want to have like those climactic moments in Tekken 7, in Tekken matches, the esport like moments all of the time, right? I can understand where Harada's coming from is that if you see like just two players just like Korean backdashing here and there, back and forth over and over and over again for like a lot of the matches, and that's what Tekken 7 is, but from an audience like standpoint, it's kind of like boring, it's kind of dull just to see like players moving back in and out. There's no like action, there's no like feelings of like aggression. It's a lot more defensive. You're just waiting for the opponent to like make like one small misstep, one small punish so that you can punish them, right? That essentially what goes on in the rick-rack of the minds of esports Tekken players, right? And so Harada wants to like change that by making it more aggressive, by making it more like, you know, we're not going to do this like silly dance like here and there, you know? We want to get to like the cut of the beat. We want to get to the action, right? And that's like the big like slow-mo like counter hits that are in like Tekken 7. That's what like breaks in like spectacle. Which I'll actually say that's like the opposite, right? Like yeah, sure, I love like spectacle like scenes. I love like aggression myself. I of course love well, then again, I'm like the defensive player. I wait for the opponent to punish, right? That's my like playstyle in fighting games. But I always try to like go in, I always try to like go for a mix and make them like guess, right? I always try to like go for offense, right? But, right, the old saying goes, the best defense is a good offense, right? It may not seem like entertaining to the outside perspective, right? To the casual perspective that like, oh, these are just two characters like dancing back and forth. But no, they are like gauging their movements, they're gauging their opportunities. That's what makes Tekken like Tekken. Is all about like their movement. How well are they able to like move around the screen and not feel like they're in a disadvantaged like state? They're just trying to like gauge each other, right? The heat system trying to like be, you know, the opener, right? Like the engager. You want everything to be like engaging in Tekken. But no, Tekken is all about footsies. It's three-dimensional footsies. You have to like throw out like a whiff move. You have to like gauge your distance and movement, and that's how Tekken is, right? And so while I like offense from like a spectator like standpoint, I do love offense. I do love like going in, right? But you know, I also appreciate like the defense. Give me more like defensive options in fighting games. Give me like ways that like not always offense is like, not a lot of offense is like a good thing, right? I love like being able to like open up and mix people, but right, give me a lot of like defensive options that will like make it so that like the defense doesn't like overweigh like the offense, like in a lot of like other games do, right? Mortal Kombat 11, for example, is like, you know, you have all of these like defensive like mechanics, right? You have like breakaways, you have like wager systems like in Injustice like 2, you have like all of these like stuff, but like it's kind of like a boring game to like watch, because, you know, a lot of like the characters are just like being stripped away from like their MKX or even MK9 counterparts, and they can't like do as much, right? Because a lot of the game is just essentially like tick throw into like grab, right? A lot of like the game is all about, you know, just like breakaway system. There's not going to be a lot of combos. There's all these relatively like short combos and not a lot of like explosiveness going on, right? And there's a lot more like defense, rather than offense. And MKX was like the opposite, where it's just like more defense, more mix-ups, more 50-50s, more opening up these cans in a lot of these like situations, right? It's good to have like offense, but also there should be like a balance, is what I mean to like have, right? Have like a balance of very good offense and very good defense. Like that's how like you can make like a fighting game like good. Because I agree, right? A lot of offense can be like bad, but don't make it so like defensive. Don't make it so like, you know, very, very plain to have, you know? This goes throughout the game. The stage destruction, the reaction of characters when they're being hit, the camera, all that stuff. Yeah, because like Tekken is like one of the most like entertaining fighting games to like watch. Albeit there are like a couple more I have like in my mind. I mean, Killer Instinct, right? Killer Instinct is a definitely fun game to like watch, right? But arguably so, collectively so, Tekken is a much more like entertaining like fighting game just to like watch, right? You have all of these like experienced players like coming in. You see like experience like movement and pacing and all that shit, and it's just so much fun to do, right? That's what Tekken like is, right? And we got like some renders of like Tekken 8, right? Is there like a Tekken 8 what was it? Fighters Generation, right? News. Yeah, so we get to see like more screenshots of like how Tekken 8 looks. Like it looks like gorgeous, right? It looks so good, and it's definitely an improvement of Tekken 7, right? Characters just look fucking crazy high fidelity, right? Well, I mean, you know, it doesn't look that far off from like Tekken 7, but it's definitely like a small improvement, but done in a very grand like way, right? We get to see some screenshots of characters. We get to see Lars Alexanderson, not in the Power Rangers uniform. He looks like a character like in a white cape and shit like that. It looks really dope. We get to see like June. Oh, that's like that's like an image of June in like in a stage? Oh shit, that looks dope. Definitely like a Chizuru Kagura vibe, right? Like it looks really sick. This is gonna be like the key art for Tekken 8. I wish. See, this is like a good box art, right? This is a good like promo image for Tekken 8, right? Like look at this shit. Father versus son. Son beating the shit out of daddy. Right? Like this looks crazy. And then of course we have like character renders. Like god damn. Kazuya with the fucking evilest of drip as we possibly can. Kazuya looks like fucking Dracula, right? Look at this like evil motherfucker over here with this goddamn like cape and shit like that, bro. Holy god. Look at the evil scowl that he has. They're definitely like personifying Kaz as like, you know, I'm gonna kill babies and I'm okay with it. Then we have like Jin Kazama. Like I wish he had like the drip that he was like the CEO, but then like in Tekken 7 like timeline he fought like Azazel, Azrael, and like he's now just like a wandering like, and like in Tekken 7 he was just like a wandering like husk until he was like later revived and brought back by the Li Xiaolong Foundation. Chizuru Kagura looking again way more Chizuru Kagura, wow. Jun Kazama looking way like Chizuru Kagura than like any of the other iterations, right? And definitely a much more quality of life improvement in like the Tekken 2 look for her. Oh man, my boy King, or like the People's Champion King. Look at him with his like feathered like cape and shit like that. God damn. He's got like the medallions and shit like that. He's got like the furry like elbows and shit like that. God damn, that's sick. Lars looks okay. Right, like he looks like a Final Fantasy character. He looks like someone from like Final Fantasy like 14, whether it be like the Stormblood expansion or not. Like it just looks like something out of like FF. Goddamn, like Law looking extra dope, right? Law with like nunchucks and like looking like a vagabond Bruce Lee, but done right. And speaking of vagabonds, why is this Paul? What the what happened to his hair? Why does he look more of a hobo than like Hobo Ken in Street Fighter 6? What the fuck? But oh, what the fuck am I like looking at right here? But this shit's pretty like I mean, I get it, right? Like Paul in like in the Tekken games, I think like a few had like his like hair down. He doesn't have like the big ass like mountain high banana fro. But damn, why did they do Paul dirty like that, bro? What the fuck? Why'd they do him like that, man? Shit, bro. I don't get it. But Tekken 8 looks fantastic, right? Oh, right, there's Jack 7. I mean, it looks cool, but it does remind me a little bit of like Gigas, right? And I never liked Gigas' like design that well. Like, it was just like, huh? He's got like too much like going on. Jack 8 has like too much going on. Why does he have like a nipple pump? Why does he have like a fucking like industrial sized like belt? Yeah, like there's a lot of things like that just don't like mesh right with this like Jack, bro. I like the head. Right, the head looks really dope, but like there's just like too much. There is just like a very high amounts of like too much, you know, going on. Sometimes it's like less is better sort of thing, you know. I do like the boots. I do like some things about like Jack 8. Doesn't like mesh, you know. But yeah, that's Tekken 8. Can't wait. Like the hype for Tekken 8 is real, and like I want to like actually learn Tekken like movement, you know? Like that would be like a fun thing to do. Like just like learn how to like move around and shit like that in Tekken. Just to like learn like Tekken like footsies. I gotta like learn how to do like, you know, some of like the wave dashing that is in like in Tekken, you know?